Hey Lord, take a look all around tonight. I found where my baby's gonna be. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, 'cause she is far across the sea. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, make sure that she's gonna be alright. Things are gonna be alright with me. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, make sure that all her dreams are sweet. Hey Lord, would you guide her along the roads and make them softer for her feet. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight and make sure that she's gonna be alright till she's home in here with me. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, she's sleeping under the sky. Hey Lord, make sure the ground she's sleeping on is always warm and dry. Hey, don't you give her too much rain, but try to keep her away from pain, 'cause my baby hates to cry. Too much rain, try to keep her away from pain, 'cause my baby hates to cry. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, 'cause it gets rough along the way. Except now this song sounds strange, it's just because I don't know how to pray. Oh, won't you give her peace of mind? And if you ever find the time, won't you tell her I miss her every day? Oh. So won't you give her peace of mind? And if you ever find the time, won't you tell her I miss her every day? Hey Lord, take a look all around tonight and find out where my baby's gonna be. Hey Lord, would you look out for her tonight, like she is far across the sea. Hey Lord, will you look out for her tonight and make sure that she's gonna be alright. Things are gonna be alright with me. With me. to get myself together. And all of my life, shuffles in. There's an old man, he's sitting next to me, making love to his tonic and gin. He said, son, can you play me a memory? I'm not really sure how it goes, but it's sad and it's sweet, and I knew it complete when I wore a younger man's clothes. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Now John at the bar, he's a friend of mine. He gets my drinks for free, and he's quick with a joke. He'll light up his smoke, but there's some place that he'd rather be. He said, John, I believe this is killing me, as a smile ran away from his face. Oh, I know I could be a big movie star if I could get out of this place. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody. I hope you are, and you got us feeling all right. Now Paul, he's a real estate novelist who never had time for a wife. And he's talking with Davy, who's still in the Navy and probably will be for life. Oh, and the waitress is practicing politics as the businessman slowly gets stoned. Well, they're sharing a drink they call loneliness, but it's better than drinking alone. La 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 la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Sunday in January.
In January.
January the 30th. Nearly over. The dark days are nearly
February.
gone. Yes! And the manager. It's a busy show, I'm afraid. We've got to
Move
get
on.
going.
Move on.
She gives me a smile. No, come
Hello.
on. Is that it?
Yeah, I thought you were rushing on.
Because she knows that it's me. They've been coming to see, to forget about life. And life can be so tricky sometimes, can't it? We've had a lot of people this week for whom life has been very tricky.
It is indeed.
Well, they want to forget about it just for a couple
Just
of
for a
hours.
while, and it's good to have you all here
It
in
is.
our home, in the Steinway Room, which is an expanding room.
It is. It's
massive room,
expanding.
really.
We're developing it, actually.
Yes,
We're going
it's
to
got a
develop it.
mezzanine and
Literally,
it's,
and we're going to increase it. We're going to increase it literally by an inch all the way round.
enough space for everyone.
And then what we're going to do is we're going to have a whole audience in here, live in the
Live.
Steinway Room with a live audience. You can sit on each
Plenty
other's
of
lap.
room.
It's literally going to be, I think it's going to be Rob Barron and Stuart McCready sitting on his lap. And I think that's going to be it.
And a few others.
Well, no, they
The
won't
Hat
be
Varney's
anybody
up in the Royal Box.
else. Oh, yes. Yes, they'll be perched up there. And the manager, she gives me a smile. Because she knows that it's me, obviously. The name on the tin, darling, remember it. They've been coming to see, to forget about life for a while. Oh, and the piano, it sounds like a carnival. And the microphone, it smells like a beer. And they sit at the bar and put bread in my jar. And say, man, what are you doing here? La la la. La la la, la la la, la la la, la la. Sing us a song, you're the piano man. Sing us a song tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a melody, and you've got us feeling all right. Dies away. We once more welcome you to another JV.
Live from the, and as Lynn's subtitles put it, the styling room. As opposed to the Steinway Room, it's the styling room.
Why is it styling?
Well, it's just the way the subtitles have given it.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh. Let's be honest, I am the
prefer
least
that.
stylish person in the world.
Oh, darling,
no, I am.
that's not true.
Well, no, there's you, but...
Thank you, Rachel.
Smile, 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 smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Oh, smile, 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 smile. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. Oh, smile though your heart is aching, smile even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile through your fear and sorrow. Smile and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Oh, light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, just keep on trying. Smile, what's the use of crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. 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 Come on, Mark. Less. That's it.
And that was Happy Birthday to Stuart McCready for yesterday.
Oh,
Happy birthday yesterday, Stuart.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Stuart.
Happy birthday to you. Enough celebration.
And also, in advance of Dan's birthday, that's Louise Day's son, on the 3rd of Feb. So we think of him for this week. And apart from that, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to everyone. Old and new. We've got a few new people tuning
Who are they,
in.
Sue? Tell us who they are.
We've got Belinda watching, hopefully, tonight. So, Belinda, if you're watching, hi. Lovely to have you here. And I know that everyone would be really warm and friendly with you and very happy to have you join us. But, yeah, we met Belinda this week, which was a real pleasure. And
Lovely thing to do.
And there will be maybe a few other people. So if you are watching for the first time or perhaps the second time and you want to just say hello, please type it into the comments and then we'll be able to know that you're watching with us. But thank you for joining us and thank you for everyone who's come back after the long wait. And
finally.
I
know many of you in a strange state of mind. Right? What kind of state of mind are you in? Well, I'm in the kind of state of mind where I'm waiting.
You're waiting.
And here's a little poem for you. All right? This may help you along the way. All right? Here it is. Waiting for Sue Gray. All the people on the radio are talking about Sue Gray. It's a matter for Sue Gray, they say. Or Sue Gray will be looking into this further. It is important that we wait for Sue Gray. I don't know who Sue Gray is. But I, too, would like to wait for Sue Gray. And so, when I think about what's for dinner, whether to make pasta or falafel, I decide this is a matter for Sue Gray. And when I'm considering what shoes to wear, or if I should get the bus or walk into town, whether it's landfill tomorrow or recycling, I tell myself not to worry because Sue Gray is looking into it. And Sue Gray is investigating all the angles. Sue Gray will soon be here. I just love that poem, made me laugh.
And it makes us laugh because actually Sue Gray was the name of Jonathan's very first singing teacher, who sadly has died. Whenever we hear about we're waiting for Sue Gray's report, it just makes us laugh.
But what kind of state of mind, I tell you what, how about for Gareth? He wrote in, bless him, Gareth is
did you want to just put your picture up and give them a little thing to think about?
Well done.
So, along those lines, perhaps you would like to see if you could put a caption to this picture. Jonathan knocking on the door of number 10. It was actually 10 years ago, but we would like you...
Did it a couple of times. We were invited a couple of times.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. But just think up a caption of Jonathan popping into number 10 at the moment.
And if you can think of what the one that wins...
Funny captions.
A funny cap... Not, yes. No,
No
you
serious
don't have to be
ones.
political, please.
No, nothing serious.
Nothing serious. Just the funniest one that you can get. And the funniest one, we will send a book or a CD of your choice. All right? We'll pop it in the post to you. We'll let you know very soon, either next time we're doing it or before. And Sue can read out a few of them as they're coming up, all right?
Yes, hopefully.
And I'll say, if I feel that we've got the winner and we don't need to go any further...
We've
but
also
I know that Stuart McCready won't be able to do it, so he's not up for it.
We also to say hello to Lynn, who's at home at last. We love you, Lynn. We're glad that you're at home in your recliner there watching front row seat.
Hello, Lynn, my darling.
And Lucas, who's watching from the beach. So, I mean,
yeah, nobody likes to show off.
I know.
Oh, is he actually watching from the beach?
No, I think he's watching it from bed next to the beach.
Oh, right, okay. He
Which
said
is
his
even
signal was
worse
bad.
somehow.
But stand by. I'm going to try and do that song that you asked for later. But this one is for Gareth. Gareth asked for one of my favourite artists, which was Billy Joel, and I just want to see if I can sing this one. I haven't sung it for a long, long time since last he asked for it. Yeah. Some folks like to get away, take a holiday from the neighborhood. Hop a flight to Miami Beach or to Hollywood. But I'm taking the Greyhound on the Hudson River line. I'm in a New York state of mind. I've seen all the movie stars in their fancy cars and their limousines, been high on the Rockies under the evergreens. But I know what I'm needing, and I don't want to waste more time, 'cause I'm in a New York state of mind. It was so easy living day by day, out of touch with the rhythm and blues. But now I need a little give and take. New York Times, the Daily News. Oh, it comes down to reality, and it's fine for me, 'cause I've let it slide. Don't care if it's Chinatown or up on Riverside. I don't have any reasons, I've left them all behind, 'cause I'm in a New York state of mind. On the Hudson River line. 'Cause I'm in a New York, I'm in a New York state of mind. I remember seeing that live in Wembley Stadium with Billy Joel, and he looked, and my son turned to me and he said, "Dad, he looks just like you."
Yeah.
And I like that. Not I looked just like him. He said, "Dad, he looks just like you. Do you think he's looked? Do you think he's looked and copied you?" I think that's what he's done. Anyway,
we are getting some great captions. I'm not going to read them all out because there are some really good ones.
Have you noted
I have. Victoria has just said caption, and they know that it's me. They've been coming to see. Knocking on the door and waiting to waiting for Sue Gray to answer. That was Owen Lamb. Just come to sing happy birthday from Michelle, but I didn't want to be PM. Can I go next door and be in charge of the money? That says Rob. Oh, blow, I've forgotten my key. Said Michael Cooper. I'm going to knock on the door. Get ready to run, said Rachel Pryor. Am I too late for the party? David Mecklenburg. And Derek, I love yours. Music teacher arrives to help Boris rehearse his swan song.
That is contender.
Keep them coming, chaps. You were on fire tonight. You're on fire.
That is on fire. That was a swan song. Very
Stuart
good.
McCready said, "Is this where I'll find the 3 9.99ers?"
Now, this is a song that has been requested. One of the great things about this community is the way that people have come out of the woodwork and proved to be extraordinary in their giving and in their kindness, consistency, and everything else. And I think actually one such person for me locally has been David Hick, who has been a friend to many on the community, and his wife Elizabeth Muston, who's solicitor, and he's just been wonderful for me. Keeps me sane. He helped reconstruct this whole thing for last week.
It's a big job keeping him sane.
And but he's a help in every way. Help doing shows, and just so kind. Bought me a great big slab of cheese. For Christmas, which was a lovely thing to do.
Your favourite
My favourite cheese from the Isle of
Not
Mull.
just any old cheese.
Anyway, he asked for, and can I just say, David, you're actually watching it, I haven't sung this song for, 12, 13, 15 years?
Well, we used to do it in concerts with the family, which shows you how long ago that was.
Yeah,
the last one was in the St Saviour's, which was yonks ago.
I had hair and everything. No, I didn't.
No, not that long ago.
All right, not that long ago. So this one, and it's me tonight. You're going to get some different stuff coming up, but this is much more me in kind of funky mode. And the album was Pilgrim, and it comes a long time ago now, and it was called by Bob Dylan. Remember Bob Dylan? Right, and he was from the Gospel, the Slow Train Coming album, and I just loved this song. It was just kind of up tempo. Let's play. It's called Serve Somebody. Here we go. Okay, very different voice. This is JV voice number 6. Again, this is Mark on the keyboard, Phil on the drums, and Ben on sax. You may be ambassador to England or France. You might like to gamble, or you might like to dance. You may be the heavyweight champion of the world, or you may be a socialite with a long string of pearls, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
You're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
Well, it may be the devil, but it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
You might be a rock and roll addict prancing on a stage. You might have drugs at your command, even women in a cage. You may be a businessman or some high-degree thief. They may call you doctor, or they may call you chief, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
You're gonna have to serve somebody. Serve somebody. Well, it may be the devil, but it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Well, you may be a state trooper. You might be a young Turk. You may be the head of some TV network. You may be rich or poor. You may be blind or lame. You may be living in another country under another name, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
Well, it may be the devil, but it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Come on, Ben, let's hear you. Here we go, B flat minor. I can feel people just going, oh, I don't like this one. Or they're going, they love it. I can see Victoria dancing around the room now. Knitting, embroidering. Thank you, Ben. What a fantastic player. I like this. It's very funny. You might like to wear cotton. You might like to wear silk. You might like to drink whiskey. Or you might like to drink milk. You might like to eat caviar. Or you might like to eat bread. You may be sleeping on the floor, sleeping on a king-size bed, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Yeah, all right.
Serve somebody.
You're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
Well, it may be the devil, but it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody.
Serve somebody.
Well, it may be the devil, but it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. Right, sing it with me now, all over the country. See you later. Well, it may be the devil, But it may be the Lord, but you're gonna have to serve somebody. You're gonna have to serve somebody. Yes, you will. You're gonna have to serve somebody.
Wow.
haven't sung-
Happy birthday, Dave. David,
David
next
Hicks.
Wednesday.
Yeah, Wednesday, 60.
60.
He's 60.
Are you 60 next Wednesday?
I'm more
I think
interested
you
that he
might be.
picked that song. Really?
Well, people are enjoying that. Some people are saying that Pilgrim is the album of choice for doing the housework and getting the
Oh,
ironing
is that right?
done.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yes.
Getting things done.
Yeah, getting things done.
Okay.
I've always said that different people choose different albums for different occasions. I don't have a favourite. I just play them at different times.
Sue, I've got one more song. Should we go to?
Let's go to David.
Let's
I
go
think.
to David.
Yeah.
So
I
I'm
think
going to let
so.
you do this bit because I can't
Okay.
see. We've got no computer today.
We are. Oh, song. You want a song?
Okay.
That's right. Rachel's just telling us.
Well,
she
let's
wants to
hope
have a
that
song.
we can get them in.
Yes.
Have we got, are they going to be
Okay.
ready
Let's
after the next song?
go not for the one with the backing track. Let's go for the
No, Blue Skies.
Blue Skies. Yeah. Blue Skies. Lucas suggested this.
Now,
and,
Lucas, you're on the beach.
What a nice idea. What a nice idea.
Okay.
This is hot off the press, people.
Bum 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 boo. Dum boo doo 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 doo. No, it's so hot. I'm going to try again. Bum 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 bum. Bum ba dee dee dee. Dee doo dee doo. Da dee 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 doo. Doo doo bum. Bum ba dee dee doo. Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Oh, blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue sky from now on. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by, when you're in love, my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. Bluebirds sing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, my, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Bluebirds sing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long.
What a very nice idea. That was a good idea, Lucas. Beautifully done, JV.
Yes, sorry about any mistakes. But there we go.
No one notices them. No one notices mistakes. It's fine.
Can we welcome?
We will welcome our good friends, David and Roz. Can we have... There they are. Hello, David and Roz. Hi.
Hello.
Now, people, those of you who will remember that we had David and Roz on, it's probably about a year ago, was it? Something like that, almost.
May.
Yes, met last May, just before we had our transplant, for you to chat about kidneys and transplants and so on, and that was really helpful. I think a lot of people began to sort of understand a little bit more about what was involved in dialysis and transplants and things. But you've got some good news for us, haven't you?
We have. We have a date.
Fantastic.
In isolation day 4, I think.
Great. How many have you got to do? I've forgotten. How many have you got to do?
14.
14.
Yes, it's 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks. We will be admitted to St George's on February the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
Surgery on the 9th.
As we did. We had the 9th. It's all the 9th, isn't
all
it?
the 9ths, yes.
The magic 9th.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Do you know, David, I have to tell you, but Roz, when you wrote to me, I was in the car and I had to stop the car and write back to you straight away because I was so chuffed because one of the, what you get, as you know, when you get the kidney, there was a bit of what we might call describe as survivor's guilt. And, we'd had ours and we were very fortunate, but I knew that you were in a difficult situation. And it dulled it for me a lot because I knew that you got so close and then it was so far and then there were problems. So I am genuinely personally thrilled. And just to tell everybody that David I was in the same dialysis unit as David, and he's been wanting it a lot longer than I have, and he's on his. What are you on now? Your 3rd or 4th? I can't remember.
This will be my 4th.
Yeah, you're just playing greedy, aren't you, boy?
So, where's this one coming from, David?
What, my kidney?
Yes.
Rosalind's donating.
Rosalind is stepping up. She's giving you her left kidney, is it?
I can't remember now.
Yeah. Actually, I think it's her right.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, normally it would be the left, but the right one looks better.
Look, okay, now that's good. And how are you feeling, Roz?
I'm doing okay, but actually a point for prayer is I haven't been feeling all that well this week. And I've had a bladder infection and I've spoken to the out of hours doctor this afternoon and got antibiotics. But
good.
Yeah, I know lots on the group pray for us. So
yes. Yeah.
That will clear up so that we can stay on track with surgery.
That would be good. That would be really good, wouldn't it? So for people who've prayed, can you pray for Roz's health and to improve dramatically, and for this this whole operation to go ahead, the transplant to go ahead on the 9th? For those of you who don't pray, just keep Roz and David in your thoughts, and that would be so good, wouldn't it? It'd be really lovely. And having been on the journey ourselves, I know how important it is to know that people are behind you and caring, because we could not have done this, I don't think, without the people in the community supporting us and helping us and being positive for us, actually.
Absolutely right. And we want you to know that we're so thrilled that you're part of this community, and we want you to feel during the months afterwards that we are still here. And, if you have concerns, and we want you to know this, if you have concerns, we cannot answer every single concern of yours, but we can try and help as much as we can, all right? So that we will try and reach out where we can and help where we can. And there'll be various people over the next few weeks and months who are going to be showing concern to others, not only through YGAF, but through personally. And I'm going to be talking about somebody else tonight who we might be trying to help as well. So if there's any concern you guys have, then let us know privately, and we'll try and see what we can do. All right? We can't promise anything, but we can try and help you and be supportive to you. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's great.
But we're going to be excited to do this journey with you, actually. Having just done it ourselves recently, we know it all very intimately, and I hope you managed to get everything done before you went into lockdown, because I know what it's like. You suddenly realise that there's lots that you wanted to do, but you can't get out and do it. So.
Ross, you were going to say something. Say.
I was going to say, for people that are praying for us as well, or thinking of us.
This is live.
I for David last time the transplant failed, so prayers and thoughts for David that be apprehensive, because it was really hard to go through it last time. 3 weeks, and he got rushed in for an emergency operation, and it didn't work, and he still had the 80 staples in his stomach to recover.
Not nice.
No, that was such a hard thing for you, wasn't it, mate? I'm sorry.
And especially when you know that the kidney's coming from Roz. I know how Jonathan struggled with that.
That's the thing I've been struggling with.
I can completely understand that. So we really want this to work, don't we? We really want this to be great for David, to really help him, but also for Roz to have been able to do something very special for David. But
also, can I just add to this? That, of course, last time you didn't have Roz's kidney.
No, you didn't. And they've been able to test her to make sure that this one's going to be all right. So it's a much better option, isn't it? Because they've been able to put you through your paces. But I can understand the concern. And we will just walk that bit with you, and we'll pray for you, and we'll be thinking of you and supporting you in whichever way we can.
Excellent. Look, we know you've got a bladder infection. All we wanted to say was
take care.
All the best, and keep us posted as much as you can.
We will.
Just a little text or something, and we'll keep the community informed. And God bless you, and we love you lots, and just keep it.
Thank you.
Keep it together and try and be as positive as you can. That's what somebody tried to say to me, and I was a disaster. So.
Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you. Bye.
God bless you. Bye-bye. Right. Excellent. Well, that's good
exciting.
news, isn't it?
Good news. Right,
I'm going to do a song now, and this one is for Rob.
Yes, Rob, you should have had it for your birthday, but of course we didn't do a show around your birthday. The same with Joanne Newson. Sorry, Joe, we weren't doing a show around the time of your birthday. But Rob, you are starting your new job tomorrow, which is fantastic. We're really excited for you for that. But here is Stars from Les Mis.
Out in the darkness, a fugitive running, fallen from grace, God be my witness, I never shall leave till we come face to face, till we come face to face. He knows his way in the dark, mine is the way of the Lord, and those who follow the path of the righteous shall have their reward. And if they fall as Lucifer fell, the flame, the soul, stars in your multitudes, scarce to be counted, filling darkness with order and light. You are the sentinels, silent and sure, keeping watch in the night, keeping watch in the night. You know your place in the sky, you know your course and your aim, and each in your season returns and returns, and is always the same. And if you fall as Lucifer fell, you fall in flame. And so it has been, and so it is written on the doorway to paradise. And those who falter and those who fall must pay the price. Lord, let me find him, that I may see him, safe behind bars. I will never rest till then. This I swear, this I swear, I the star.
Wow.
From Les Mis, song that you voted as number one as your most popular from Lockdown Sessions 1. God on high, hear my prayer. Hear my need. You have always been there. Granted me a son, the summers die one by one, how soon they
That's quite moving, actually.
Why?
I feel very moved, very moved.
You do, don't you?
I do.
That one, I love that.
Fantastic singing, and that in particular, I know moves a lot of people, and for a number of people, this is a very significant song. Not least of all for our dear friends Alan and Jackie Slough. And I know today is a difficult day for you because this is the anniversary that your son Tom committed suicide, and we want to say we have not forgotten Tom. And we know that for you this is a really difficult time, but we just thank you for your love and for your friendship, and we just wanted to say we love you.
2 songs, then we're going to get our special guest in.
I should think
The
so.
Lord's my shepherd.
Oh, really? No,
Yeah.
do that one now?
You want to
Oh, no, I think we can do it later.
Is that all right?
Yes, I think we
Okay.
need to do it later.
Well,
Sorry.
Okay, you want to do it later? Fine.
I want to do it later.
Well,
yes.
okay, 2 songs. Why don't we do something? Okay,
We're gonna
she's
do-
putting that one.
Yeah, thank you, Rachel. That's what he was going to do.
All right.
And this is for Rachel Pryor. It was your birthday this week, Rachel. You asked for this one.
Oh, happy day. Also for Chris Steele. Oh, happy day. Judy and Chris, you enjoyed it as well. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. When Jesus was. Where my Jesus was. Where my Jesus was. Wash my sins away. Oh, happy day. He taught me how watch and pray. And live rejoicing every day. Every day. Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Where my Jesus was, where my Jesus was, where my Jesus was, wash my sins away. Oh, happy day. He taught me how to watch and pray. Watch and pray and live rejoicing every day. Oh, every day. Oh, happy 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 day when Jesus was. Where my Jesus was. Where my Jesus was. Wash my sins away. Oh, happy day. Such a happy, happy day. It's such a happy day. My Jesus washed my sins away. Oh, come on. This bit I love. Let's celebrate the happy day. Come on and celebrate the happy day. Come on and celebrate the happy day. Celebrate, come on and celebrate the happy day. The happy day, the happy day. Celebrate, come on and celebrate the happy day. Such a happy, 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 happy day. Oh, celebrate, come on and celebrate the happy day, happy day. Oh, happy day. Celebrate, come on and celebrate the happy day. That was good fun, that one.
Wow. That's quite something, actually. You just performed 2 incredible songs.
Sorry?
And then straight into Happy Day. I mean, you're in fine form. Well, my kidney's in fine
You're
form.
fine,
What
your
can I
kidney's in
say?
fine
Yes.
form. So, one song.
Rachel's suggesting go straight into the Steve Legg video, if that's possible.
Oh, yes, indeed. All right.
Because I think Tom's got to go. So.
Go.
Yep.
Go.
So, yep, go for it, Rachel.
I'll tell you what, Sue, why don't you go over there, Sue? Just maybe step over there, because we do have a dress code. Sorry, you look absolutely glorious. This is important. We've obviously met before. I'm in your home. But we haven't arranged this. We haven't set this up. Okay, fabulous. Because we're going to try something. A trick involving my money. So I want it to work. And if not just my money, half of my fee tonight. I thought you were going to sit down then. You couldn't believe it. Yes, half of my fee tonight, £5.
Okay.
And because sorry, you didn't know this.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, okay, I'll have to be a check then, I guess. I have 3 envelopes,
Okay.
and I want you to win the envelope with £5 in it. Okay, and I'm going to do everything in my power, Sue, to help you win. Is that okay, Sue? Okay. So every envelope has something written on it, though this is the only envelope with something written on it, if you see what I mean. All the other envelopes have something written on it, but it's not something, it's something else.
Okay.
When I say it's something else, it's not something else, it's something else. Okay? Are you with me so far?
I am, yeah.
Can you explain it to the rest of us?
No, not at
Okay,
all.
fair enough. The question is, would I... A lot of these jokes are just for me, by the way. The question is, would I put the clean, crisp £5 note in the envelope with something written on it?
Might do.
Possibly. The second envelope has something written on it. It's not something, it's something else. It's not something else. It is nothing.
Okay.
The question is, would I put a £5 note, brand new £5 note, in the envelope with nothing written on it? Or is that a double bluff?
Oh, that's what we don't know.
It's a very, very good question. And the final answer, the final envelope has mine. Now, we all love what is rightfully mine, but this isn't mine, this is yours. And it's a matter of perspective, isn't it? When you read it,
Yep.
it's yours. When I read it, it's mine, etc., etc. So there we have 3 envelopes. We have something, mine,
And mine.
or nothing. So, as I said, can do everything in my power. And we got my stunt double behind me watching that I'm not cheating or anything like
Okay.
that. Not yet, sir, not yet. It's peaking too soon. Which envelope would you like? Something, nothing, or mine? And I don't know if people at home are making a choice here. We can't really see now. Okay. Which envelope would you like, Sue?
Nothing.
Nothing. You would like the envelope with nothing written on it. Absolutely sure. I'm going to put these under here. Now, Sue, before I open this to see if you've won a £5, and I'm going to do everything in my power for you to win a £5 tonight. I'm going to give you a chance to change your mind.
No.
You happy with the mind you've got?
Yeah.
Okay. You jumped into that far too quickly, and thank you for laughing. One person in the room.
I was too slow.
I'm too busy concentrating.
I know, it's
nervous.
big bucks here. Listen, when you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning thinking about this trick, bear this in mind.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a chance to change your mind. Okay?
Don't
So when you
do
think
it.
about this at 2 in the morning,
Don't do it though.
think about this. If you did, you didn't have to. And if you didn't, you could have done. Okay?
I'm officially confused.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all totally confused.
Where are we?
Can someone text in and tell us what's going on, please? Nothing?
Nothing.
Sure?
Sure.
Absolutely positive. Okay. Going to open this at fingertips so you can see I'm not cheating. Sue, this is absolutely incredible. You are a winner. Let's hear it for Sue. That is
Fantastic.
Thank you very much.
£5. What about that?
There we are.
That is very good. What?
That's not bad, is it?
What's
No,
mine is yours.
I'll cut
Now,
this in half
listen,
and give it to you.
listen. I know what you're thinking. Every envelope's got a £5 in. Yes?
Give-
Right?
Yes.
Wrong.
I'm thinking
Uh,
that.
As I said, I was trying everything in my power to get you to win a £5. But if you'd have gone for mine, and I know some of you would have done, that had the 20 in. But you didn't win that, Sue. You didn't want that, did you? And if you'd have chosen something, this is the big one. This
Oh
is
my word, no!
the envelope with £250 in it, Sue. But you didn't want that either.
I didn't want that. I wanted the fibre.
Listen, you are £5 better off than when you started. So whatever anyone else thinks, in our eyes, she's a winner. Big round of
Come on,
applause.
gentlemen, proud round of applause.
But I tell you what, Sue, going to give you a chance. Do you want to play double or quits?
Yeah, go on.
Double or quits?
Go on, double
okay.
or quits.
You just need a little piece of paper and a pen for this, Sue. Okay.
Right, so we just sit down.
Brilliant. She's sitting down, taking this very, very seriously.
Yeah.
Yes. No, this is good. No.
It's the only one that
Yeah. Very good.
Because you win that money. That
Yes.
could be an extra
We're
fee
going to
before
double it.
Christmas.
Double or quit. I'll tell you what, Sue, you need to go over there because we're going to try to read your mind. Sue, could you empty your mind? That was quick. There we go. There we are. Sue, I want you to think of a number between 1 and 100. Write it down there. And if we can match this, don't let me see. I'll look over here. Because so playing double or quits, if I get this right, we double it. If we get it wrong, I have the money back. 53. No?
No.
Okay, I win the money back. There we are. So that wasn't so good, was it, Sue? There we are, the lovely Sue. Thank you so much.
That was the lovely Steve Legg that so many of you enjoyed. A couple of times he's been in on Zoom when we couldn't have people in the room, and then he came in and did a live show with us. And I love that line, empty your mind, Sue. That didn't take long. Got to say, it's one of the great gags. And so it made me laugh. I thought I could have told you that, but no, Sue, it's fine. Anyway, I'm showing you this, everybody, and it's a quick one before we introduce you to our next guest. And the quick one is this, that Steve Legg, some of you may have seen his post. Steve is a freelance magician and going around a lot of churches and organisations, and that's how he earned his living. Of course, during pandemic, like me, he lost 95% of his earnings almost overnight. And he was thinking, well, I can get back into it. And about 8 weeks ago, he had something cut out from his foot and they've discovered that actually they needed to cut more out, and it wasn't a good look down there. So that means he's had to go into hospital. It means he has to take 3 months out from work. Sadly,
Just as he was getting back
into working. And I spoke to him privately, and Steve would never ask, and this is not something that he has asked me to do, so that we're clear. This is something that actually, as a JV community, we do. We care for others. Through YGAF and through will offerings and whatever we can do, we help those that cannot at that point help themselves. You did it with us. You've done it with hundreds of other people. And through YGAF, you're doing it through significant amounts of people. Helping them in small ways, but significant ways. Now, I'm just going to ask you, on behalf of Steve, really, because Steve would never ask, and his wife would never ask. He's going to be out of work for 3 months now. All the jobs that he's had, they've asked for the deposits to be returned for the jobs that he was going to do. Now, that's very, very harsh. And so I'm asking you, if you've got, and it's all remember the maths of multiples, we don't need you to give 150, 500 pounds. Of course, if you're a millionaire and if you're out there and you want to give it to him, then obviously give him that. But what we've always relied on in this community is small gifts. You know, as much as you can afford, a fiver. You know, what would you do for a couple of coffees in the week? Well, if you can give that, a few of us doing that would help him significantly. I'm not going to say any more than that, but it would make him feel loved and cared for. And so I said to him, would you mind me sharing this? And he said, no, it'd be really fantastic. And I know if he's listening tonight, Steve, we are concerned for you, and those of us in this community that are of faith, that we pray. Those of you who are not of faith, again, like David and Roz, we send our love and our best wishes to you, and I'll keep in touch just to make sure that you're okay, and I'll come down. Sue said you should threaten to visit him. That will make him get up out of his seat and move quickly towards the sea. Anyway, enough of this. So if you could write to Sue, okay, what's the email, Sue?
Sue at jonathanveira.com.
I'm going to say that again. Sue at jonathanveira.com.
And I will simply forward anything that you write to me. I will just send it straight to Steve.
Straight to Steve, and then you can, if you
can
want
deal
to,
with him.
You can deal directly with him and just give him a small amount of money, and that would pay into his account. So rather than going through ours, all right. I just leave that with you and your generosity and your kindness. Now we have a very special guest, and you know I always try and broaden your minds, give you an intellectual life. Something to nourish you through the next week or so, because of course we're and I'm going to say this 3 times, we are not here next week. At the moment, we're doing 2 weeks, every 2 weeks, because we are away in Devon doing a concert, and those down in Weveliscum, or Weveliscum, however you want to pronounce it, we're down there next weekend and doing a great live concert. We'd love you to join us. Check out the website, jonathanveira.com. But I like to just introduce people, new people, who you've not heard anything from, and whose lives and whose careers are very interesting, and who, well, frankly, after 86 shows, we've never had on. Well, we have had once on, but he didn't really talk about himself. And that is the kind of man that is, I'm very happy to tell you, is a very close friend of ours. And mine in particular, he's been kind to me, so kind during the times of when I found out about my kidney. And he just whisked me off in his car down the A31, and we'd have a pub lunch somewhere and a chat. And he's just a good man. And I have to say that he is a good man. He's what he says on the tin. He's a good man. But also, this man is, well, some would call him Your Honour. Some call Malud is the wrong one, because I think that's the High Court, or is it the other way around? Can't remember. And he is an honorary coroner. We call him Sir, and I call him a lot of other things as well. But ladies and gentlemen, right on camera now is Jonathan Stevens. Jonathan, welcome to JV Live from the Steinway Room.
Good evening. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me along. It's good to be here.
It's lovely to have you, and lovely to just be able to talk to you about your life, because you have a fascinating life, and that sitting having dinner with you occasionally, I start to feel incredibly boring. And I thought I was so interesting until I talked to you.
I'm not sure I recognise the description of myself that you give, but
no,
carry
that's
on,
typically humble.
Carry on.
But you, Jonathan, you were not always. You're a coroner, which very few people know. Many coroners, but you weren't always. How did you start? What was your?
Well, I qualified as a solicitor and spent 18 years in private practice, partner of a law firm doing litigation and crime and personal injury cases, and representing all sorts of weird and wonderful people. Even represented the IRA once.
The what?
The IRA.
Seriously?
Seriously. Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
And then worked
over here or over there?
Over here, and then worked for a company looking after their litigation globally. Travelled a lot. Qualified at the New York bar because
because you've got a green card over. You work over there as well.
Well, I'm qualified in New York. Yeah, did that for in-house for 16 years. Then went back to private practice and went back to a law firm, headed up the litigation department. And then applied to be a coroner, which is a judicial role. Got appointed as a coroner in London, and then I got appointed as a coroner in Hertfordshire. And nearly 2 years ago, I retired from private practice, so now I just sit as a coroner.
That must be a very interesting job, because I mean, so few of us would know in any detail what that means. We are, and my wife is addicted to silent witness, and so they're doing post-mortems, which then are answerable. Is that correct, to the coroner?
Well,
tell us how it works.
Yeah, it's the coroner who will order a post-mortem. So I order post-mortem. So as a coroner, you're there to investigate deaths which are violent, deaths in custody and state detention, and deaths which for the cause of which is unknown. And so, of course, if you have an unknown death, people die, and the doctors aren't always able to say why somebody's died. So it's referred to the coroner. The coroner will commission a post-mortem report, and sometimes a toxicology report, and sometimes a histology report. And when that comes through, you can then make a decision as to whether or not this is a case which requires an inquest, or whether actually it's just a natural causes death, and you can close the case. So all the non-natural deaths, the violent, the custodies, the suicides and the like, they then all have to have a court hearing to investigate, and it's an independent judicial investigation to find out the circumstances that gave rise to that person's death, and whether or not there's any particular report that you need to make to a government department to say something needs to be done to stop this happening again, as occasionally happens. and so there's a public accountability, and particularly when you have state entities involved, and something might have gone wrong in a hospital, in a prison, or whatever, and it's an opportunity for that independent judicial investigation and public accountability. But also, it's the story of somebody who has lost their father, their son, their daughter, their brother, their sister, somebody close to them. So for those people, it is one of the worst days of their life.
Yes.
So you've got this independent judicial investigation which you're carrying out, but you're also there trying to help people through one of the worst days of their life.
That must be one of the most difficult aspects of it, because you're filling in stories. There's a great big missing gap in a chapter missing from the book, isn't there? With if there's been an unexplained death, then you're trying to explain it.
Yes, and sometimes there isn't an answer, and you'd be surprised how often people are found weeks or months after their death. And by then it's too late, usually, to be able to determine how they died. So often the family don't get the answers in those situations. But in many cases, as a result of the investigation, you do get answers, not so much obviously with people who have not been found for some time. But the family will have questions that they want answered. They're not necessarily the same questions that I need to be answered as a coroner, but I'm going to be as generous as I can to the family to allow them to have closure. So they will ask questions which aren't relevant for the inquest,
No.
but I will allow those questions.
Well, what are your parameters then? I mean, what are the parameters within which you work, which are relevant, not relevant? What makes the...
Well, the purpose of the inquest is to establish the medical cause of death, to establish who died, when did they die, where did they die, and how did they die. And in some cases involving state entities, which is where the Human Rights Act comes in, then there's a slightly more detailed inquiry as to the broader circumstances by which somebody died, because you're looking to make sure that there is no accountability on behalf of the state. But the family may have questions which actually don't touch on those issues, which are what I'm required under statute to cover, but are really important for the family themselves. And it's just, wherever possible, helping them to get those answers and allowing them to have closure on this death, which they're often unexpected. So there's been and sometimes they're very traumatic, and to help them to come to terms in some way to what has happened.
Do you find? I mean, this is fascinating stuff for us, because we just generally do not. Do you know another coroner? I know lots of doctors.
No, I know no other coroner.
I know lots of solicitors. I know lots of lawyers.
No.
Well, there's about 100,000 solicitors and there are 400 coroners
400 in the whole country.
in the whole country.
So have you been very busy over the last few? I mean, over COVID, did it make a lot of difference to your workload?
Well, actually not, because COVID is a natural cause of death.
Okay, so there's no inquest. Okay.
But where it gets thrown in is when you have people sometimes don't just die of one thing; they die of a number of different things, and COVID can be part of it.
Part of the yes.
And COVID can be the straw on the camel's back in terms of a number of different comorbidities, and they get COVID, and that's just too much for them to cope.
Yes. Yes.
And you've got to work out whether that's non-natural or not, or natural, and the extent to which COVID is or not a significant part of that death process.
But what happens? You find that the state acted unlawfully, and then what you can make recommendations, I would imagine, for prosecution of the state, or is it? I don't know.
Yeah, it's a coroner's court is a civil court. They used to call the conclusion of the coroner a verdict.
What?
A verdict.
A verdict, yes. Right.
But that confused people.
Yes.
Because verdicts are associated with the criminal court.
Yes.
And whilst you might be covering issues which are quite similar to a criminal court, it is a civil court. So they change the terminology to a conclusion. But you're not there to attribute blame to any person or organisation. You can make a finding of neglect if there has been neglect which has caused the death. And that's
which could lead to
a
prosecution
well, not necessarily. Neglect doesn't necessarily mean a criminal offence. You can make a finding of unlawful killing, which is, of course, tantamount to a homicide
Yes.
offence.
In which case that does become.
Yeah. And if you find that there is some failure in the system anywhere that requires to be addressed, you have the power to issue what's known as a PFD under Regulation 28, which is very exciting. What that means is a prevention of future deaths report. So you can require anyone, and I did one just before Christmas to Priti Patel actually, and to the Secretary of State for Sport, digital media, and
Yes.
all that stuff.
Yes.
In relation to suicide websites, requiring the government to take steps to
Just to ban, get rid of them.
to control access to those, because it's a real issue.
Yes.
And people are dying because of those
Just
sites.
explain to people what you mean by that, because a lot of people don't know what those sites are.
I don't want to give too much information about those, because it's something which you
No,
don't
you
want to be in
shouldn't
the,
be one,
in, in,
but
the,
they
in,
are,
the, in the
suffice it
public
to say.
domain. But they're places where people go
Yeah.
and get encouraged.
Yes. Quite an evil process. Yeah.
Yeah.
But okay, let's move away from that. There are your primary. You talking to me? One of your primary aims. It seems to me you're a person of faith. Would that be accurate to describe you as that?
Indeed, yes.
Of Christian faith.
Indeed, yes.
Indeed. I don't want. This is a broad community.
Yeah.
And does it, in these days where stating one's faith is not necessarily a, does it affect the way you work? Does it affect what you do, how you do it?
Yes, in as much as you just want to love and care for people going through that process. And you're there to, the judicial oath says you have to investigate cases without fear or favour, and you're there to perform a judicial role.
Yes.
But that doesn't mean you can't do that with kindness and compassion for the people who are going through that ordeal. And to just take the time to explain what's going on, and to reassure them that you are going to, as far as you can, help them through the course of those proceedings, and to explain things, give them the opportunity to ask and answer questions, and support them in that process so far as you are able to do so. And also just to take the opportunity of making it personal, so that it's not about the deceased who died on a given day, but it's about this person and what they were like and their character.
Yes.
So I had a case last week, and there was a lady who was really very anxious about coming along. She was coming in on Teams, and she said, I may not be able to last the whole of this. I may just drop off the call because it's too much for me.
Yes.
But I looked after her on the call. And actually, during the course of the inquest, there came out quite a lot of information about her mother, and what an amazing lady she was, and how at the age of 92 she was still cooking meals for her daughter, and was obviously a really lovely, sweet lady. And just replaying that to the family and to this daughter in particular, just acknowledging that you recognise this is a person, this is what she was like, and all you're doing is replaying what you've picked up in the course of the inquest.
Yes.
But you can see the difference it makes in people, that the personality of their loved one is recognised, and it's not just a statistic being processed by the court.
That's a very. We just have a little song.
Yeah.
Just to.
Yeah.
One of the things is that we sing in this community is "You've Got a Friend," and it became a kind of an anthem that was recorded then and viewed 40,000 times or something around there, and they recorded it as a community. And one of the things actually that being kind to people is at the heart of what this community is about. As you know, as a director, as a trustee of the YGAF,
yeah.
And what you're saying is that within professions we have a responsibility to show kindness. It's when we say "Go peaceful in gentleness, show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes" is one of the songs we sing. Go peaceful. And it always struck me when I was talking to you that your attempt you almost pray every morning, may I see everybody through heaven's eyes and try and deal with people in a way that would be kind and considerate. It struck me that must be quite a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't take much just to be nice and kind to people. Do you know, it isn't actually a big deal.
No.
It's very easy to do, but it makes such a difference. And it's a real privilege to be able to sort of to help people, through that awful day.
That's a very special thing, Jonathan. Let's sing a song, and then we'll get back to you. When you're down and troubled, and you need some love and care, and nothing is going right. Close your eyes and think of me, and soon I will be there to brighten up even your darkest night. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. You've got a friend. If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, keep your head together now and call my name out loud, and soon you'll hear me knocking at your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will. Now ain't it good to know that you've got a friend, where people can be so cold, they'll hurt you and desert you and take your soul if you let them, but don't you let them. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. Winter, spring, summer, or fall, all you gotta do is call, and I'll be there. Yes, I will.
You've got a friend. You've got a friend.
My sweet darling.
You've got a friend. You've got a friend. You've got a friend.
And that's the song of Wygaff. You're a judge, but you're so many other things. You told me actually you'd just cycled. Tell me about this. Tell me about this. This is an interesting thing as a
cycling
judge.
judge.
Yeah, the cycling judge. What is this all about?
On a penny farthing.
I feel like singing the judge's song. I should have sung that,
You should
shouldn't
have
I?
sung that, yes.
The judge's song from Trial by Jury. I will do that. I will do that.
Yeah, well, there's a group of like-minded folk, and we cycled from Derbyshire, Winkworth and Derbyshire, to Cape Wrath. So it was 732 miles.
That's a long way.
It's a long way, isn't it? But off-road.
Off-road mountain bike, so 50 to 60 miles a day for 2 weeks. So we climbed Everest twice
That's ridiculous.
in terms of the ascent.
Yeah.
But it was a great fun adventure. It was like watching a sort of extended movie of the last of the summer wine. In truth,
All you old geezers
yes,
cycling across.
we are basically a bunch of old geezers in a reasonably good shape.
You are. In fact, what is you and Adrian? I know you are some of the fittest people in the group, because I know there were less fit people who were really working very hard to keep up.
Well, we did the whole leg. Some people did various sections of it, but it was just a great fun thing to do, to be out in the fresh air on the countryside and see the most extraordinary countryside that we have in
Great Britain.
in the
I
UK,
agree.
and going places where people don't go, because it's so you'd spend hours without seeing a soul because you were so far from anywhere.
I often think
Quite
actually that in terms of holidays, we travel the UK. We've done so many. Well, it must be 1,000 concerts now or something like that. So we've done all these tiny little villages in the middle of nowhere, as well as big towns and cities. And I often say to people, you just don't know. I remember Simon Slater. He said he'd never been ever to Scotland in his whole life. And we went up to go across the Northern Ireland, and
Well, he'd never seen the Lake District
never-
either.
He'd never seen the lake, never been to the Lake District. Travelled the world, but had never been to the lakes. And when we travelled up there on the M6, there was a low-lying mist, and he still hasn't seen it. So it made me laugh. So, but all you guys who are so fit, it does disturb me. I used to be a cyclist, and it was I used to do things like the Malverns just for fun, or just do 70, 80 miles a day, because. Well, you start out at 6 o'clock in the morning and you come home 8 o'clock at night, 9 o'clock. And
But I mean, you were doing it when I wasn't. I'm just a late developer.
yeah, but you cycle 60 miles to work or something ridiculous. I don't know what it is. What
Well,
do you do?
it was when I was down in Sussex. It was a 52-mile round trip. I didn't do it every day,
Hey, no, well, that's okay. But how does you said to me before we came in here? There were a lot. There were. I'm going to use the word funny. And maybe funny isn't the word, but there are things that happen. You're not allowed to talk about present cases, you're not allowed to talk about pending cases, but there were people that you've dealt with that we all know, that you've had to do, because you said all of us die. It was an interesting, it's a nice little cup of tea chat, isn't it, really? I mean, do people kind of stay away from you, Jonathan, because...
Well, yes, my wife tells me in my bedtime pillow talk it needs to be improved on.
I think it's when you come to bed with a scythe, it doesn't help.
And it's probably fair to say that not many of my cases have a happy ending.
No.
But there are moments of humour. So a coroner is addressed in court as sir, but people. Don't get it right. So you get called Your Honour. I'm not a circuit judge, so I don't get honour. They call me my lord. I'm not a High Court judge. And last week, because I'm Her Majesty's coroner, one member of the family said, "Oh, he's Her Majesty's coroner. Does that mean I call him His Majesty?"
Oh, bless him.
So you, of course, said yes. Of course you do.
Well, the coroner's officer appraised him of the correct way
nomenclature.
to address. But it just tickled me. I've never come across that one before, and it was a bit of fun. So yes, there are light moments as well, and I mean even during the hearing, there are sometimes moments of humour. It's best directed at me. Some of the cases are quite complicated in terms of medical terminology when you're dealing with hospital deaths.
Do you have to have some kind of medical background? I mean, or do you just learn the words?
Well, I've done a lot of medical legal work in the past, and I've been on lots of medical training courses.
Okay.
I was on one last week. But doctors speak in doctor speak,
They do.
which consists of times of incredibly long words,
Incredibly.
which are not easy to pronounce.
No, they're not.
And sometimes you're going through this stuff, and you just get your tongue wrapped around your false teeth, and you can't get it out, and you make an absolute cods of it. And
I'd love to hear. I'd love a collection all put together of all the names that you can't quite pronounce.
and it's great, and you basically just make a joke at yourself, and actually, done in the right way, it helps just to take the
Yes.
tension out of the moment, provided that you're the butt of the joke and
Because
not nobody
I
else.
suppose you could be very accused of being very insensitive and
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, people who are going through that ordeal, difficult to tell exactly where they are, and you've just got to be kind and look after them. But if you make a mistake, you can gently just make a comment about your own incompetence, and
yeah.
people just smile at that.
And are grateful to see, as they see a judge who is in charge of this get it wrong.
There's a humanness
there's a human,
about it.
yeah.
Mm.
I think that's right. So it's humanness and that vulnerability that means that you're not perfect and you're not. I do think there's when I was in court there was a guy, the lawyer. He had a small stutter, and so he'd sound like Boris actually. But it was ever so funny every now and again, because he would get a word that was really difficult to say, and he would give it a good 2 or 3 goes before he got it. And then it would come out, and it was usually with the cut. And because I've got a stutter, I knew I could feel his pain, and. But you think in those kind of contexts, go on, Sue.
Sorry, can I just lob a question in here? On average, how long does it take you to prepare for these cases?
Yes.
I mean, there must be a huge amount of reading that you've got to do.
Well, I mean, it varies. I mean, it can take you half an hour to prepare a case. It can take you a week. Depends
Yes.
on what type of case it is. Some cases are heard by juries, and they tend to be more complicated cases and require a lot more preparation. It depends how many witnesses you're calling. Sometimes you can read the evidence if you haven't got any questions to ask of the witness. But in complicated cases, potential mismanagement of a birth of a child in a hospital, complex cases, complex medical legal issues to explore, you need lots of witnesses there. So that takes a long time. But funny things affect the time estimates of case. So I had a case a while ago where there were actually 2 deaf people, a couple who were in a house, and one of them died. And of course, I needed to call the other one to give evidence to find out what had happened. So I gave instructions that we needed to have an interpreter. And on the morning of the court, the coroner's officer comes in and says, "Your 4 interpreters have arrived." And I said, "Why do I need 4 interpreters? What's going on?" I thought.
Only wanted one.
For goodness sake, what's going on? And then they explained it, that actually I needed 4. And the reason why you need 4 interpreters is because if you are interpreting for somebody who's born deaf,
Yes.
you need somebody who is a deaf interpreter. In other words, somebody who themselves is deaf but can read sign language. Because communicating with somebody who's never heard uses a different type of sign language to those who learn sign language as somebody who has hearing. So you need somebody who is deaf and an interpreter, who then interprets it to somebody who has hearing and is an interpreter, who then tells you what it is. So it sounds a little bit like a Chinese whisper. So they work in pairs, but because of the rapid gesticulation of their hands, if they do it for more than 20 minutes, they get repetitive strain injury. So they work in pairs. So every time you want to have one interpreter, you have 4 of them. And this was a complete revelation
How
to me.
amazing.
I had no idea.
What an absolutely fantastic thing I did. I had no idea.
That's fantastic.
So of course, it takes forever to get through.
Yes.
Because every time you ask a question, it's interpreted one interpreter to another interpreter who goes to the witness, who goes back to the first interpreter, to the second interpreter, and back to you.
I think we'll have a break now. I think
Absolutely.
that's it.
It's
Isn't it? That's what
exhausting.
we've gotta say.
It's totally exhausting.
So you don't have fun in your job. There's no fun aspect to your job, is it? It's difficult. It's hard. Am I wrong? Satisfying.
Yeah, I mean, it is very rewarding. I mean, there are obviously some of the cases are desperately sad, and very, very moving. And I remember dealing with a very, very difficult case of a little boy whose child had died in childbirth, and the family had prepared a statement setting out what had happened, but also just the impact on them. And you don't have to read out impact statements because it's not a criminal court. But nonetheless, it's good for people to just understand that this is a family who've been traumatized by. And I read that statement out, and towards the end, my voice, began to sort of quaver a bit, and I just had to stop and just take a couple of breaths and just compose myself, because it was so moving, and I wasn't embarrassed by that, and I thought it was good for the family to know
that you're human.
That I really did understand that this was just the most tragic circumstance that had happened to them, that for reasons that were transpired completely avoidable, they had lost their little boy.
I have to tell you, I mean, we're just going to move along a little, and because the time just goes. I was very proud when you became a coroner, and when you said you got the job, got the stripes, yeah. And we are thrilled to know that there is somebody out there who is, as it were, looking after people. And I think my own feeling about Christians in the workplace is often, a lot of people, they want to become full-time workers, they want to become priests, they want to become, that's very laudable and it's very good. But I remember some person saying, what we want is more people out there who are Christians in the professions, in the shops, in the whatever area. We need more people out there, lay people, doing their thing, actually making the changes, the change in the atmosphere, changing the story, filling in the story. And I've always felt with you that that's what you are doing now. You've had your own difficulties in your life, and you are now just pursuing, in the way that we're trying to do it as well, doing the right thing. And for the days that you have left, you want to help people, and that's always been your thing. I know that is what you are. That's who you are. And I just want to ask you a little bit, just before we wrap up, about YGAF, basically. Why you're involved, apart from the fact.
Well, because you asked me, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, we asked you because, I knew you'd be a judicious, just
judicious choice.
Exactly, and what's your feeling about something like this, which is we've asked you before, but you're on live, and that's close to our hearts.
Yeah, it's a great privilege to be involved with that, and you have selected some lovely people for me to work with, and two of them I knew very well. Adrian Pinnock I didn't, but he's a lovely bloke. He really is.
He's all right, isn't he?
Love him
what
to
he says
pieces.
on the tin, I think.
He
Actually.
is. He's
an activist.
He's 24 carat, that guy.
Yeah,
he really is. But Deborah and Colin I've known for years, and they're just lovely, wise people. So it's a real pleasure to work with these people, and it's a real privilege to be able to administer the trust and to be the people who are involved in the distribution to those people to whom we make awards, and we get the most lovely thanks, cards and letters of thanks to us. But it's not us that they should be thanking. It's the JV community who through their tremendous kindness, are making these regular gifts that allow us to give that gift of love and kindness and support
And put an arm around
to people. And put
really.
around exactly right. And we're just the facilitators. So we get the thanks because we're the only people they can thank. But actually, the real thanks goes out to the community, without whom, of course, this wouldn't be possible.
And we're very aware of that, and we're very grateful for you. And of course, your background helps a lot. And I wanted you and the spread of facility of abilities and skills that you all have, and we wanted the kind of the slightly active, well, the very active Adrian, the judicious you, the cautious but loving hand of Colin, and again the careful hand of Deborah, bring everything together. And it's lovely to have met you all and together, because of course I've known you all individually for years, and we're thankful so much for your involvement in this, and you're continuing. And as much as the community keep giving, then they are able to actually again give to people who need, and there have been quite a few. And as we see the tsunami of need, as Colin Richards was actually talking about, through the next few months, particularly with the £80 uplift being cut, and then in April the real cost coming through of the hike in energy. It's going to, plus the cost of living, plus of course the hike in national insurance contributions. This is going to be, I think, quite a long year for many people, and we're aware of that. And we need you to also be aware that you can make application to YGAF. It's going to come up on the screen. And you can apply. We're not the social services people, so we're not going to ask you to present your financial statements. If there are issues with your finances that you need greater help with, we've partnered as we can with CAP through Colin Richards and through Christians Against Poverty, and they'll help you to look at your finances and say, how can we help you here? But please do not be embarrassed. Have you got a final word to say about that? Because you're a trustee, and encouraging people really to make the...
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed by these funds that this wonderful community have provided, and we don't want moths in that account. We want the monies to cycle through.
To that.
They're there to be used and as appropriately, and of course, our job is to work out what is an appropriate grant to make, and when to make it, and there are competing calls on the account, and sometimes you can make one grant when you can't make another, and that might simply be just because there isn't enough in the account at that time to do it. It may not be that it's not a worthy application. It's just that we have to cut the cloth. But we want to help and to spread that love and kindness where we can, and we don't want money sitting in the account. We want to use it to help people.
Jonathan, it's been such a privilege for me as your friend to have you in here, to share you with the community, and I have to say it's a lovely reflection of his gentle faith, and that's what I always think about Jonathan. It's never an imposing faith, and it's an intelligent faith, and he's an intelligent man, but a kind and lovely man. He often brings us fish that
he did tonight.
That he steals from the local. No, did he bring us fish? Oh, fantastic! I can't wait. That's tomorrow.
Trout.
That's tomorrow's. Oh, trout.
Smoked trout.
Even better, smoked trout. Jonathan, it's lovely, and we will be having at some point your wife, who I believe was the first to tell me, or was she the second?
She's the second woman solicitor in history to be appointed as a High Court Master.
What does that mean?
It's a judge of the High Court. It's not a High Court judge. It's a judge in the High Court. So,
wow.
but you'll have to ask her about that.
We've got to get her in.
We will.
She's phenomenal. Lovely to have you. We're going to just
do a couple of songs.
We'll do a couple of songs, and you go home to your wife
Give her our love. Thank her for sharing you with us tonight.
I know she went swimming tonight after she just said, well, okay, fair enough. If you want to go to Veira's, then off you go.
Well, bless you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure.
It's been a pleasure having you, and we'll talk very soon. Thank you.
Bless
Thank you.
mate.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Now, I think this one.
This one is a special one for Sharon Bye, in memory of lovely Chris, your brother who died before Christmas, and it will be the funeral on Tuesday. And so we care for you, we love you, and those of us who can are going to make the funeral and support you there and be with you. And we're so sad that Chris has gone, but we know that his faith was strong, and he's enjoying a new body now.
The Lord's my shepherd, I'll not want. He makes me lie in pastures green. He leads me by the still, still waters. His goodness restores my soul, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. He guides my ways in righteousness, and he anoints my head with oil, and my cup it overflows with joy. I feast on his pure delights, and I will trust in you alone, and I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. And though I walk the darkest path, I will not fear the evil one, for you are with me, and your rod and staff are the comfort I need to know. And I will trust in you alone. Yes, I will trust in you alone, for your endless mercy follows me, your goodness will lead me home. Bless you, Sharon.
Bless you, Sharon.
On a
Well
difficult
done
day.
for all that you did for Chris for so many years. This is for Tristan. Happy birthday, Tristan. It's your birthday on Wednesday, I believe.
Here's life in all its mystery, the beauty and the tragedy, the silence and the symphony, and everything between. And deep inside the heart of man, the need to know and understand. Is he a part of some great plan, or just a passing dream? Philosophers philosophize, but rarely look you in the eyes. And politics is compromise that rides the ebb and flow. And money talks and fashion screams to fill the space inside your dreams. If you want something to believe, I'll tell you what I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters in the end. Spirit of the age decrees, we may not speak in certainties, but that's what Jesus is to me, the bedrock of my soul. A savior who can really save, a power stronger than the grave, the greatest gift I'll ever have, the deepest joy I know. My maker is my savior, my creator is also my friend, and to find him and his favor is all that matters. He's all that matters. He's all that matters. In the end. Now, can you read a few more of the what about the captions?
No, we've slowed down on those. I think I read out most of them. There were a few more that came in. A few more birthdays. I believe that Chloe, it's your birthday on Thursday. And I think also Joyce White, it's your birthday on Wednesday.
White.
It's
Do I know
Jess,
Joyce?
Joyce
I do
White.
know
Yes,
Joyce,
we know
don't
Joyce
I?
White. So Pat, your sister, gave us the heads up on that one. And anyone else who's got birthdays in the next couple of weeks, we think of you and we wish you happy birthday. And we thank you for joining us tonight, particularly Hilary and Andrew on YouTube. I think Chloe, you gave us the heads up on that. And Tony and Gary are with us tonight. Tony, as in who owns the coffee shop that we go to quite frequently.
Tony and Gary Gaza. Hey, now why didn't you tell me that? I would have done a nice song because he's a great musician. She's a lovely lady, and she's just lost her daddy.
Yes.
And she had to attend the
bless you.
funeral, and
Not an easy
actually
week.
it wasn't an easy few days. But Gary went up to Yorkshire, and it was very good.
It's good that you
actually.
went.
Good that you
Good
went.
that you went.
And you went, and you did
Well
the
done.
right thing. And we welcome you tonight
Yes.
to the community, and we just say, I hope you're well, and we'll see you when we see you. And there's another guy, another couple of people who show extraordinary kindness. And you meet people, so many
Yeah.
people that we're meeting at the moment.
You've met
We
some
met
lovely
another
people.
couple, Anne and Chris, when we were having coffee recently, and we just talked. And I'll tell you their story, and it was very disturbing. And I hope that this is not this.
It won't be.
It won't be.
It won't be anything
well,
that any of
nothing
us do.
That any of us do. But they went to
A
church.
church.
They're not Christian people. And they went to, he said, I fancied a good sing song. And so they went to a church on the Isle of
It was a
Wight.
Christmas carol service.
Christmas carol service in a church that I will not name.
Okay.
Normally would name it, name and shame it. I would do, actually, normally. And you can write to me and I'll tell you where it was, so as not to go there. But it was quite extraordinary. They went in, it was a few years ago now, and they were new to the area, and they walked into the church. He said, I fancied going in and singing the carols. And somebody turned and they welcomed them at the door, and then they sat down, and the couple turned around and said, so where are you from? And they said, we're from the Newport Road, which was the wrong side of the tracks. And they said they physically just turned round and totally ignored them from then on, and everybody else ignored them. And they felt rejected almost immediately and have never gone back. And so it's a lesson to all of us. The minute the first contact, as it were, that we have with people, you know, they've come and they've made an effort to come in. And in these days, particularly into church, who want to 40%, up to 40% loss. Gavin Calvert was saying it was 32%, 34%. Well, I'm saying it's nearly 40%. Most people within the Anglican churches, they've found a lot of people have lost. Not everyone, but this is the national picture. So I'm saying, show warmth and kindness. See everyone through heaven's eyes.
Amen.
All right?
Yeah.
So that's it, because it matters. And that person said, I never walk back into a church again. And I thought, and we apologised. I thought, why are we apologising? But we have to, don't we? We have to apologise. This is outrageous. And if I could have just been anywhere near that particular church.
Never mind.
Never mind. So we're going to, any other notices, Sue?
Just to remind you about if you want to what do we got here? Yes, YouTube. A lot of you have been watching on YouTube tonight, so welcome on YouTube. And
you can comment on YouTube as well.
You can comment on YouTube. And remember, you click, you like, and you subscribe to our YouTube channel. The more we can get clicking and subscribing onto our YouTube channel, the better it will be for us. We get more and more benefits. I don't quite understand what they are, but apparently we do. Technical benefits. So please, if you go onto YouTube, anything that we show, just remember class, click, like, and subscribe. Thank you, Lucas, for that one.
Thank you, Lucas.
If you want to know anything about Jonathan, then you go on to jonathanveira.com. We have lots of concerts and so on coming up, which is great. So if you want to know anything more about those, then all the details are on there. Or if you want to ask me anything, ask about putting on a show, where a show is, how to get publicity for a show, whatever, write to sue@jonathanveira.com. That's how you contact me, sue@jonathanveira.com. And going back to what we said about Steve Legg, I can't think of any other way to do it for now, but if you would like to help Steve and you don't know how to contact him, just write to me at sue@jonathanveira.com, and I would just simply send that message straight on to Steve. And I think that's the simplest way to do it at this point, because then you only have to remember sue@jonathanveira.com.
Can I also mention the songs that I sung tonight, some of which you didn't hear me sing forever, which were things like from
Blue
Pilgrim and that wonderful album, really great, rocky album.
If you want an album to do your housework to, that's obviously the one, isn't it?
So we'll send that off to you as quickly as we can. Any other lockdown sessions, 1, 2, and 3, and buy the Christmas album now and be ready for Christmas next year.
Beat the Christmas rush.
Yeah, and that's it. So really come on. We've got books and CDs, and if you'd like to order them, please. It's how we make a little bit of money for ourselves. So could you do that? It's been lovely coming down. Don't forget that it's not next week, but the week after. What is the date, Sue? So you can put it in your diary. What is the date? 13th.
Is it 13th? Something like that?
And
thank
when
you. Thank you, Rachel.
Right,
13th.
The 13th. And
you.
that will be Sue Rinaldi coming back in concert.
Woo-hoo.
She's going to be doing some of her own material, again, singing some lovely songs, chatting about what's close to her, the pandemic, all the stuff that's gone on, how she's got on. And we love having Sue Rinaldi in, and You've Got a Friend Trust was named by her.
Yeah,
it
she
was her.
clever.
And she was very helpful in an awful lot of ways with this live streaming. So we love being here tonight. It nearly all didn't happen, but bless Rachel for working her socks off literally today to get it all started, because we came in here and nothing worked. Nothing. We've got 3 minutes. We're going to sing these songs and it go
Thank you for joining us, everyone.
In gentleness through the violence of these days, give freely, show tenderness in all your ways.
Through darkness, in troubled times, let holiness be your aim. Seek wisdom, let faithfulness burn like a flame.
speed you.
God lead you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known
by love.
Be righteous, speak truthfully in a world of greed and lies. Show kindness, see everyone through heaven's eyes.
God hold you,
Enfold you and keep you wrapped around his heart. May you be known
by love. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace.
The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you.
The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord turn his face toward you. The Lord bless you and keep you and be gracious to you. And be gracious to you. The Lord bless you and keep you. The Lord make his face to shine on you. The Lord bless you and keep you and give you his peace and give you his peace. And with particular apologies to Michael Cooper, and I will sing, and I had it right here, right on the right-hand side again, and to Peter Day, GNS. It just, I was about to do it just before the judge
2
appeared.
weeks' time.
So there were 2 weeks' time, you're going to get it, and you'll be the first, well, the third or fourth item. I promise you, Michael. I know I'm a disappointment, but there you go. God bless you.
God bless
see
you.
you in a couple of
Lovely
weeks.
to see you, everyone. Thank you for
Have a
joining
good few days.
us.
God bless.
Bye,
And don't
bye.
forget, ask Sue Gray.
Wait for Sue Gray.